जय स्वाहा माता, तुम अग्नि की शक्ति, तुम अग्नि की शक्ति, तुम सच्ची माता। ओम जय स्वाहा माता।
Take some rice, Varsha, and we concentrate on Bhagwan Shankar. Repeat in your mind, Om Tat Sat, Swasti Vachan. Harihi Om Tat Sat, Harihi Om Tat Sat, Harihi Om Tat Sat. Om Sri Ganeshaya Namaha, Atkatyayani Shanti Prayogaha. Om Adau Ganapating Bande, Vignanasham Vinayakam, Rishingsha Deva Jananing, Grihasthapam Marvai. Om Swastina Indra Vridhasravaha, Swastina Pusha Vishvivedaha, Swastina Takshayur Arishtanemi, Swastino Brihaspatir Dadhatum, Paya Prithiviyam Payausadhishu, Payodibyantarikshi Payudha, Payashvati Pradesha Shantumyam. Om Vishnu Ratmasi Vishnu, Shnaptestu Vishnu, Shurasi Vishnu, Dhruvasi Vishnu, Vaishnavamasim, Vishnavetva Agni Devta, Vato Devta, Suryo Devta, Chandrama Devta, Vasu Devta, Rudro Devta, Aditya Devta, Maruto Devta, Vishvedeva Devta, Brihaspati Devtendro Devta, Varuno Devta. Om Dev Shantir, Antarikshagvam Shanti, Prithvi Shantir, Apah Shanti, Aushadhya Shanti, Vanaspatiya Shanti, Vishvedeva Shanti, Brahma Shanti, Sarvagvam Shanti, Shanti Deva, Shanti Sama, Shanti Redhi Shanti. Om Vakratunda Mahakaya, Koti Surya Samaprabha, Nirvignam Kurume Deva, Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada. Om Ganganapataye Namaha. Boli Shri Gajanan Swami ki jai, Arshakti Jagadamba Mata ki jai, Umapati Mahadeva ki. Offer the rice in front of the Kalsa. Bow, sit down, take your seats, everybody. We have a palm leaf there, Varsha. Take Sankalp. Yeah. Pick it up. Right, they have flowers in it. Rice Supari coin. Right. So I want you to call your Rasi name. Now, those of you who are engaging in all the sessions of devotions, you can do likewise. Call your Rasi names, then say Om Tat Sat Puja Sankalp. We are committing ourselves, firm resolve to the worship of Bhagwan Shankar in this period of time. Om Hiranyagarbha Samavartatagri Bhutasya Jata Patrike Asit Sadadhar Prithuvim Dhyam Temam Kashmai Devaya Vishavidhema. Om Ganganapataye Namah Namaschandikaya Namah Shivaya Brahmagindev Hitarthaya Puja Sankalpaham Karishi. Om Tatsat Iti Puja Sankalpaha. Bow. Touch it here for it. Rest it one side in front of the Kalsa. Rest your right hand on the berry, concentrate on Mother Earth, Jai Prithvi Ma. Om Bhurasi Bhumirasa Ditirasi, Vishwasa Vishwadhara Vishwadharitri, Prithvi Yash Prithvi Drinch Prithvi Ma Hinsihi. Om Prithvi Tvaya Dhrita Loka, Devitvam Vishnu Nardata, Tvang Chadhara Mang Deving, Pavitram Kuruchasanam, Prithvi Mata Namo Nama Bow. Now I take some rice. And remember, everybody in your mind can do what we are doing. The Shrota is making the physical offerings. Everybody can become part mansik. We concentrate, we do invocation. Om Gananang Tva Ganapating Gvam Havamihi Priyanang Tva Priyapating Gvam Havamihi Nidhinang Tva Nidhipating Gvam Havamihi Vasu Mama Ahamajani Garbhadama Tamajasi Garbhadam. Om Prathamam Shailaputri Cha Dvitiyang Brahmacharini Tritiyang Chandaganteti Kushmandeti Chaturthakam Panchamam Skandamati Shashtam Katyayani Cha Saptamam Kal Ratriti Mahagauriti Chashtamam Navamam Siddhi Datricha Navadurga Prikirtitaham Om Namaste Namaste Vibhu Vishwamurti. Namaste Namaste Chidananda Murti. Namaste Namaste Tapo Yoga Gamya. Namaste Namaste Suti Gyana Gamya. Har Har Mahadev Namah Shivaya. Om Ang 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 Jwalit Mukhi Arun Mata Varun Pita Shandilya Gotra Parvakanam Agni Devai Namostutem. Om Agach Deva Devesha Tejo Rasi Jagatpate Kriyamanang Maya Pujang Grihan Surasattama. Om Nana Ratna Samayuktam Kartaswara Vibhushatam Asanam Deva Devesha Prichartam Pratigrihitam. Offer a little bit in front of Lord Ganesh. Ganganapate Nama. Hold it in left hand, over the right hand. Lord Devi Ma, Namaschandikayai, Shivaji, Namah Shivai, that live by the fire. Brahm again Devai Nam, all right there. Avahayami, Stapayami, Pujayami. So we make an offering in those 4 places. Panchamrit. I drop each place. Om Payudadhi Kritam Chaiva. Each place, one side in front. Madhucha Sharkarayutam, Panchamritam, Mayanitam, Snan Artham, Pratigrihitam. Panchamrit Snanam Samurpayami. Water. Nilota. Om Varunasyotam Bhanamasi. Varunasya Skambha Sarjanisto, Varunasarita Sadanyasi, Varunasarita Sadanamasi, Varunasarita Sadanmasit, Shudhodak Snanam Samarpayami, Yagyupavit, Chanev. But you read one for Lord Ganesh. Om Yagyupavitam Paramam Pavitram, Prajapatir Yatsahajang Purusthat, Ayushamagram, Pratimuncha Shubhram, Yagyupavitam Balamastyuteja. Durgama Om Namaschandikayai. Lord Shiva, present up the lingam. One again, but by the fire. Alright. Offer a piece of cotton wool each place. Offer it in front. Om Vera Sukta Samayukta Yagya Sam Samanvide Sarva Varana Pradadevaha Basasi Pratigrihitam Vastram Samarpayami. Chandan. Put some water in it if it's dry. Take on the murti neck, right? On the face, sorry, the forehead. Om Sekhanda Chandanam Dibyam Gandhadiham Sumanuharam Vilepanam Suraseshtam Chandanam Pratigrihitam. Devi, and these 3 fingers, yeah, north to south. Har Har Mahadev. Next side. Yeah, alright. One thing on the next leaf. Sri Agindevaya Namaha Chandanam Samarpayami. Alright, offer Hardi each place. Om Haridra Ranjita Devi Sukha Saubhagyadaini Tasmatvam Pujayam Yatra Sukha Shantim Prayachami Haridram Samarpayami. Sindur. Offer someone Nikotnul and someone Ganesh Baba on the Murti itself. Om Sinduram Shobhanam Raktam Saubhagyam Sukhavardhanam Shubhadam Kamadam Chaiva Sinduram Pratigrihitam. Sinduram Samarpayami. Dubgas. Om Kandat Kandat Prarohanti Purushah Purushaspari Evanu Durve Pratanu. Put in front of each place. Sahasrena Shatena Cha. Put each place over here. Right, offer summarize each place again. Om Akshata Raktatandula Kumkumena Virajita Mayani Virita Bhaksha Akshatam Pratigrihitam. Akshatan Samarpayami. Take a flower, if you have bay leaf, right, offer by Lord Ganesh. Take from right here. In front of Lord Ganesh Murti, yeah, flowers and right. Take another flower, neem leaf, offer by Durgama. Om Namaschandikaya. Flower with bay leaf, offered by Shiva Lingam. Namah Shivaya. Offer flower by the fire. Alright. Perfume. Each place. Om Gandham Samarpayami. Sarva Devta Sarva Devi Namo Namaha. Incense. Light the incense. Pass it around the entire body. Om Vanaspati Rasudbhuto Gandhadhiyo Gandha Uttama Aghriyam Sarvadevanang Dhupoyam Pratigrihitam Dhupam Samorpayami. Stick it in the lota with the rice here. Alright. Take a bit hali with the arti and pass arti around. Om Sajam Chavarti Sanyuktam Vahinna Yoshitang Maya Deepang Grihan Deveche Tailukiti Mirapam. बोले श्री गजानन स्वामी की जय, जगदम्बा माता की जय, उमापति महादेव की जय. Persad. Break a little piece and put it into the fire. Ganganapataye Namah SWAHA. Alright. We offer this to Lord Ganesh. You have Pan Beva? Alright. Gajanan Swami, hold it together. Yeah. Gajanan Swami Naivedyam Samarpayami. Om Sharkara Khandi Khadyani Dadhi Chirhitani Cha Aharam Bhaksha Bhujam Cha Naivedyam Pratigritam Ganganapataye Namaha. Boli Sri Gajanan Swami ki jai. Leave it in front of the Murti. Take the next one, Devi. Break a little piece, put it into the fire. Namaschandikaya Swaha. Again, Maha Annapurna Devi Swaha. We offer this to Devi now. Durga Ma Naivedyam Samarpayami. Sharkara Khandi Khadyani Dadhi Chirhitani Cha Aharam Bhaksha Bhujam Cha Naivedyam Pratigritam. Om Namaschandikaya. Boli Siyad Shakti Jagadamba Mata ki jai. Offer it in front of the Murti. Next one. Offer peace into the fire. Om Namah Shivaya Swaha. We offer this to Lord Shiva. Mahadev Baba Naivedyam Samarpayami. Om Sharkara Khandi Khadyani Dadhi Chirhitani Cha Aharam Bhaksha Bhujam Cha Naivedyam Pratigritam. Om Har Har Mahadev. Boli Shri Umapati Mahadev ki. Offer it in front of the Murti. Lingam. Take a lot of water now. Mango leaf, pass water only 3 Persad. Do it 3 times. Collectively, all together. Om Sarva Papaharang Dibyam Gangeyang Nirmalam Jalam Achmanang Chamayadatam Grihitam Purushotamaha. Acha, good. You can offer the flowers and pass back the Persad. The Persad, the flowers from the Persad, yeah. Take out the leaf and everything and offer it in front of the Murti. Yeah. And just pass it back. All right. Get closer to the fire. You're going to do Havan. Right? So, you're going to do the ghee first. 5 times. Everybody, Gayatri mantra. Harihi Om Tat Sat, Harihi Om Tat Sat, Harihi Om Tat Sat. Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha, Tat Savitur Varenyam. Swaha. Now only when I say Swaha, you repeat a full bit. Om Prajapati Swaha. Idam Prajapati Idam Namama. Om Indrai Swaha. Idam Indrai Idam Namama. Om Agni Swaha. Idam Agni Idam Namama. Om Somai Swaha. Idam Somai Idam Namama. Om Hu Swaha. Idam Agni Idam Namama. Om Bhuva Swaha. Idam Vayavi Idam Namama. Om Swaha Swaha. Idam Suryai Idam Namama. Om Ganganapati Namah Swaha. Gauri Mata Swaha. Prithvi Mata Swaha. Panchalokpali Vaya Swaha. Namo Narayanaya Swaha. Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Swaha. Namah Shivaya Swaha. Suryari Navgrahadevaya Swaha. Brahm Agnaye Namah Swaha. Om Hrim Srim Chandikaya Namah Swaha. Om Krim Kaliyai Namah Swaha. Mahalakshmi Mata Bhyo Namo Namah Swaha. Om Srim Hrim Saraswatyai Swaha. Ishtadevaya Swaha. Kuldevaya Swaha. Asthandevaya Swaha. Gramdevaya Swaha. Vastu Devaya Swaha. Sarvadevta Sarvadevi Bhyo Namo Namah Swaha. Of all. All right. Garib belief now Mitrunjay mantra. You know what we're doing, right? Boliye Shri Mahapati Mahadeva ki. Om Hraum, Om Jum, Om Saha. take some neem leaf. So you put it on 4 sides of the wick, eastern side first a little bit. Namaschandikaya swaha. Alright? Yeah, so you're going clockwise. Om Krim Kaliyai Namaswaha. Lakshmi Mata Bhyo Namo Namaswaha. Srim Rim Saraswatyai Swaha. Take up some of the mixture of the Google sugar. Black tea, mix it up and sprinkle around. Sarva Devta Sarva Devi Bhyo Namo Nama Swaha. Good. Use the luta with mango leaf, offer water around 3 times. Om Sarva Papaharang Dibyam Gangeyang Nitmalam Jalam Aswanang Chamaya Dattam Grihitam Purushotamaha Brahmagnayi Namaha. Take a flower and fan the fire to the murtis 5 times. Banaspati Rasud Bhuto Gandhadhyo Gandha Uttama Agreyang Sarva Devanang Dhupoyam Pratigrihitam. Both hands on the flame. You feel in the heat, pass it over your head 5 times. Om Brahmagnaye Namaha. Alright, take a flower. We concentrate on Lakshmi Ma. Jai Maha Lakshmi Ma. Om Namostestu Mahamaye Sri Pithe Sur Pujite Shankha Chakra Gada Haste Mahalakshmi Namostute. Om Lakshmi Karutu Kalyanam Arogyam Sukha Sampadam Mama Shatru Vinashaya Deepa Jyotir Namostute. Siddheshwari Mahalakshmi Mata Namo Namaha. Boliye Sri Mahalakshmi Mata ki. Offer it on Tabarideya. Bow to the flame. Take another flower and call your Rasi name. Then say, now Graha Devta, Graha Shanti. Om Brahma Murari Sripurantakari Bhanu Sasi Bhumi Suto Bodhasya Gurusya Shukra Shani Rahu Ketavaha Kurvantu Sarve Mamasu Prabhatam Sakal Graha Shanti Sri Suryari Now Graha Devaye Nama Mantrihinam Kriyahinam Bhaktihinam Ganeshwara He Parameshwari He Sadashiv He Agnishwara Yad Pujitam Maya Deva He Devi Paripurnam Tadaspumi. Om Tat Sat Pahimam Sharanagatam Pahimam Sharanagatam Pahimam Sharanagatam. Boliye Sri Navgraha Devta ki Jai. Offer the flowers anyway, bow. Alright. So you take flowers and you concentrate, focus, right? Devotees, so we have performed our simple puja and now we will prepare ourselves for Shiv Katha. We have been doing Shiv Katha recently and the Kathas were based a lot on Bhagwan Shankar to try to get an understanding. Tonight we will 2 nights we have of Shiv Katha, so the discourse will be aimed at helping us to focus on the devotion to Bhagwan Shankar. How best we can do it, but example is the highest precept. So as we prepare ourselves, let's concentrate on Bholinath. Deen Dayalu Kripa Sagar Bhakta Vatsal. Simple mantra, Om Namah Shivaya. Repeat in your minds as we perform invocation. Hari Om Tat Sat. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namah. Om Shri Saraswatye Namah. Om Maha Shivraatri. Om Gyaan Timirandhasya Gyanayanjam Shalakayah Chakshuran Militan Yehena Tasmahe Shri गुरुवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः ॐ गजाननान् भूतगणाधिसेवितं कपित्यजम्बूफलसारभक्षितम् उमासुतं शोकविनाशकारणं नमामि विघ्नेश्वर पादपङ्कजम् नमामि विघ्नेश्वर पादपङ्कजम् ॐ वर्णनामर्थसङ्घानां रसानां छन्दसामपि मङ्गलगणः च कर्तारो वन्दे वाणी विनायको वन्दे वाणी विनायको वन्दे वाणी विनायको या देवी सर्वभूतेषु शक्तिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः यः देवी सर्वभूतेषु श्रद्धारूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 सर्वभूतेषु बुद्धिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः यः देवी सर्वभूतेषु शान्तिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः यः देवी सर्वभूतेषु दयारूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः यः देवी सर्वभूतेषु मातृरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः हे मां नमस्तस्यै नमस्तस्यै मां नमस्तस्यै गौरं करुणावतारं संसारसारं भुजगेन्द्रहारं सदा वसन्तं हृदयारविन्दे भवं भवामि सहितं नमामि भवं भवामि सहितं नमामि भवं भवामि सहितं नमामि ॐ शान्ति 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 हरि ओम। बोले श्री गजानन स्वामी की जय। आज शक्ति जगदम्बा माता की जय। उमापति महादेव की जय। Devotees, we do Shiv Stotram. Those of you who are familiar with it, feel free to join me. Remember, if God not in our thoughts and feelings, He is nowhere. So, gather the thoughts and feelings together. Pranamami Anahadi Akhandaharam Vibhu Vyapak Ved Swarupavaram Pranamami Anahadi अखण्डहरं विभुव्यापकवीरस्वरूपवरं प्रणमामि अनादि अखण्डहरं विभुव्यापकवीरस्वरूपवरम् अद्वैतय भेदय लेखयजं प्रणमामि सदा शिवधर्मध्वजं निरवद्य निरीह निरावरणं शुभभव्यमहाभवभयहरणं परमेश सुरेश उमारमणं शुचिशङ्कर नित्यधरा निरमान निरञ्जन नौमि नरं निरताय निरूप अचिन्त्य परम् त्रिगुणात्मक रूप सुछन्द स्वरं शुभकारयकार विकारहरं वृषभध्वज शम्भु गौरीपति वररुद्रतिलोचन योगयति कलिकाल कराल महाकरलं अजरामरदीर्य अव्यक्तबलं विदुभाल विशाल सुमालिजता कर्पूर सुकुंद समान छटा शिरगंगयनंग प्रभातरस शब्द कोटि छपातर सोसरस श्रुति कंठल से बहुब्याल मह श्रुति कुंडल लोलक पोल देह पावक पूर प्रचंड गति शुचि राजत वाम सुवंग सती दमरु कर मध्य त्रिशूलसे पुरमे सुरती कोटि बसे जय नाथय नाथन केर प्रभु करतार संहार रूप विभु तुम ही जगतार कहावत हो अघ ओघम बिनसावत हो दुख दोख विनाशक त्राशक हो जग जीवन दान सुशासक हो जन रंजन गंजन दुष्ट छवि नशि जात विमुखी अमंत बली भवधारय धार सुरासुर के महाकाल जलंधर और के महिमूल महा अनुकूल जनम प्रतिकूल सदा खल दल दमनम प्रणमामि महेश परेश शिवा श्रीलाल प्रणम्य गिरीश देवा प्रणमामि महेश प्रणमामि शिवा प्रणमामि महेश परेश शिवा हरदेव प्रणम्य गिरीश देवा ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्युर्मुक्ष्यमामृतात् ॐ नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय देवदेवोत्तम दीन सुरक्षक देवादिदेव दयामय श्री महादेव कृपामय श्री महादेव दयामय देव देवोत्तम दीन सुरक्षक देव देवोत्तम दीन सुरक्षक देवादिदेव दयामया देवादिदेव दयामया श्री महादेव कृपमया श्री महादेव दयामया पतित उद्धार पाप विदूर पतित उद्धार पाप विदूर कैलाश विहार परमेश्वर कैलाश विहार परमेश्वर भस्म भव तव भव भयनाशक भस्म भव तव भव भयनाशक श्री महादेव कृपमया श्री महादेव दयामया देव देवोत्तम दीन सुरक्षक देवादिदेव दयामया देवादिदेव दयामया श्री महादेव कृपमया श्री महादेव दयामया पतित उद्धार पाप विदूर पतित उद्धार पाप विदूर कैलाश विहार परमेश्वर कैलाश विहार परमेश्वर भस्म भव तव भव भयनाशक भस्म भव तव भव भयनाशक श्री महादेव कृपमया Mahadev Kripamaya, Shri Mahadev Dayamaya. We all have to measure Bhagwan Shankar, firmly fixed on the mind's eyes. Panchakshar mantra, simple. Prem bhava. Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya. Om 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 Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya, Shiva, Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya, Shiva, Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya. Holy Shri Umapathi Mahadeva ki jai. Devotees, this course that I have chosen, we have just 2 nights, and this course is one that I love a lot. It has many different teachings in it to guide us, point us in a way, especially those of us who are troubled in today's world. And that will be all of us. Who is without problems? Who is without troubles? Who is without disappointment? Who has never experienced disappointment? Our scriptures tell us how we manage. You cannot stop these things from happening in the world of duality. There is pain, pleasure, success, failure, union, separation. And I keep mentioning, like the breeze, can you stop it from blowing? But you can put up a wind shutter and prevent it from blowing you away. So it all depends upon self-effort. Self-effort. So scriptures say that there is destiny and there is self-effort. Devotees, destiny is created by karmas in the past. So even if you say destiny, it still relates to karma. But even destiny itself, you can water down the harsh effects of it through self-effort. I've been mentioning time and again, and the Shankaracharya, my father, always kept mentioning this. There are 2 factors that prevent us, according to what Guru Vasisht said. Laziness, my song bad, but when the song bad, I think we listen to it more. Laziness and stupidity. These 2 factors. Stupidity in the sense that, oh, what can I do, bhai? Jaisa karni, vaisa bharni. So we quote a law, the law of cause and effect, Jaisa karni, vaisa bharni, and we stop at that. we roll over and we die, or we play dead. Whereas scriptures tell us self-effort can bring about any change. Present self-effort. This is why in this context we keep saying, Ye ghari na jaye bhi. This moment shouldn't be wasted. If a problem arises and you sit down and you moan and you mope and you grieve or whatever, you're killing the moment. It doesn't help you. This is common sense, which is not so common. You have to become proactive. So devotees, this katha will tell us about what happened and how disaster was averted. And many of you have heard this katha many times, but each time you listen to it, each time I read it, I always get something deeper into it. So let's go. Sri Shivji Maharaj relating katha to Saunakji, thousands of sages in Naimisharanya. And he was speaking about Bhagavan Shankar and the different Jyotirlinga that appear in various places. So he had a special request to listen to this special linga. ऋषियों ने कहा, हे महामते, भक्तों की रक्षा करने वाली इस महाकाल नामक ज्योतिर्लिंग की महिमा को हमें फिर सुनाइए. Please explain to us the katha, the greatness of Mahakaleshwar. What is so powerful of Mahakaleshwar? Bhakton ki raksha karne wali. It protects his devotees. So the different lingam, devotees in India consecrated because of different reasons. Some for children, some whatever problem. But here, Mahakaleshwar for protection. But protection of who? Bhakto, the devotees. So don't treat these words lightly. The devotees. And we have to understand, I won't go into detail what the devotee is. We have to understand what devotion is, what a devotee is supposed to be. So now this katha, by listening to it, it brings about the protection of the devotees. He said, oh, Sri Shivji Maharaj, explain this episode to me. Sri Shivji bole, he Vibhu, भक्तों के रक्षक महाकाल ज्योतिर्लिंग के भक्ति वर्धक महात्म्य को आदर पूर्वक सुनिए. You have asked, O Saunakji and other sages, I'm going to explain to you the greatness of this भक्तों के रक्षक महाकाल ज्योतिर्लिंग, this ling Mahakal, which protects its devotees. But bhakti vardhak, you have to listen with the right attitude. Adar purvak suniye. So, because of devotions, anything is possible. Anything. And devotees, sometimes I can't help mentioning, but putting a flower and lighting a diya and whatever is not devotion in itself. It is the bhav, the attitude that we have. But patram pushpam phalam toyam. God doesn't need anything except, as he said, our love. So this is why when I started I said, if God not in your thoughts and your feelings, then God is nowhere. And if it's one moment you pray with this right attitude, nothing is impossible. But let's follow. उज्जैन नगरी में एक चंद्रसेन नामक राजा रहता था, जो सभी शास्त्रों के अर्थ और तत्व को जानने वाला, इंद्रजित तथा शिव जी का बड़ा भक्त था, जिसकी लोक नमस्कृत महेश्वर के मणिभद्र नामक एक गण से मित्रता हो गई थी. There was a king whose name was Chandrasen, and he lived as a ruler in the city called Ujjain. Ujjain, for those who follow scripture would know, it is referred to as the city of Lord Shiva. The main deity worshipped in that village or that city is Lord Shiva. Ujjain Nagari. Now, how this king Chandrasen made his name into Shiv Puran? What was his claim to greatness, to fame? It's important to note, devotees, nobody reaches any position just like that. Nobody. So let's listen, what was his claim to fame, as we say, put it very loosely. सभी शास्त्रों के अर्थ और तत्व को जानने वाला. He was very versed in all the shastras, the scriptures. Now, many may not understand why the Hindi is important. Shastron ke arth, not only the meaning, but the essence. Now, anybody could read who know language and read something and translate it. How many know the essence? You see, so I always tell people, this is why, you see, I could read the whole book from beginning to end and we say, yes, we read the whole Shiv Puran. What essence did you get? What essence did I get? This is why we keep saying the story is good, experimental outlook, but you need to go to deeper levels to get the essence. Without essence, you go nowhere. And I have always quoted this bhajan, you know, Surki gati mai kya janu, artha bhajan ka bhi ati gehra, usko bhi mai kya janu. Where the singer is saying that the earth of the bhajan, that in itself is very deep. How much do I know of it? So the idea is not knowing the meaning only, but getting the essence. I can't put it simpler than that. So this king devotees, not only was he versed in scriptures, he knew the essence. Tattva ko janne wala. Tattva. Tattva is a very difficult word to translate. Tattva means a creator. Out of it other things come. But devotees, to put it simply, he was very, very wise, very, very learned. Not to talk only, but he understood the essence. Indrajit, he conquered the senses. And remember the senses? We have 5 senses of perception, 5 organs of action. They are all called Indriyas. So the 5 senses of perception, sense of hearing, sight, olfactory sense, tactile sense, sense of taste. Organs of action, hands, feet, tongue, organ of excretion and reproduction. Those are the 10 senses that we have in the body. He had perfect control over the senses. Devotees, they call this dham. Dham, control over the senses. Sham, control over the mind. Now all these things, this alone, as I can put it to you, is a whole discourse by itself. Right? And you know, many of us, we hear these things, but we make no effort to try to attain it. They're just words. But common sense will tell us, Sham, control of the mind. Dham, control of the senses. The mind controls the senses. Intellect controls mind. If I do not have this control, I am lost. I achieve nothing spiritually. Nothing. So I see devotees, if the heirs, as I said, sense of hearing stray, sense of sight stray, we're sitting to pray, but everything distracts us, you're not praying. You're not praying. So you need to have control over the senses to develop spiritually. Okay? And I have mentioned to you before, Bhagavan Krishna, he said in Uddhava Gita, true valor is the conquest of one's nitya. You bring the senses under control. If you cannot do that, it is what I refer to as simply top spinning in mud. Top spinning in mud. You could hold how much dhar you want and parke dhar you want. You don't have sense control. You don't have mind control. Just pure physical action you do, you carry no there. Now this is nothing new I'm telling you, eh? And my song Harsh, that to understand what it is devotee. This is why again, come back to man lives himself by himself, man sings himself by himself. Now you can get fed up of hearing it. And I keep saying it for you to get fed up hearing it until you accept it and live it. You have to. So devotee is Indrajit. So all that is good. Knowing the Vedas, knowing the Shastras, knowing the essence of it, control of the senses. What is the greatest quality? Shiv Ji ka bara bhakta tha. A great devotee of Bhagavan Shankar. A great devotee of Bhagavan Shankar. So notice what transcends everything else? Bhakti. Bhakti. But he will be a Gyaan Bhakt. One who has knowledge, but with devotion. And we have been explaining over and over, Shivaji symbolizes Vairagya, dispassion. Anybody who is a devotee of Bhagavan Shankar, or aspiring devotee of Bhagavan Shankar, They're going closer and closer towards that state of vairagya, letting go. Letting go, not caught up in all the stupidities of this world that sink you, that people can't let go. They can't let go. But it's your problem, right? Not mine. It's not Shivaji's problem. So devotees, notice his qualities. Very unique individual. And maybe this is why he made it to Shiv Puran. Some of us can make it to the local newspaper, which tomorrow is base paper. You can make Shiv Puran. Think about it. Now devotees, like attracts like. There was another leading disciple of Bhagavan Shankar, whose name Manibhadra. There was a close association between Chandrasen and Manibhadra. What was common between both of them? Devotion to Shivaji. Now there again, a point we keep saying, Pratham Bhakti, Santan Kar Sangha. If you want to reach anywhere in life, you have to associate with the right company. The point I keep making to the young ones in particular. And we spoke ad nauseum about all these things, not only people, your social media, your different platform you use that distract you, etc., etc. When time they pray, you can't pray, your mind's still distracted. And you expect to find God? You expect to get success? Don't fool yourself. Don't. Devotees, you have to associate with the right company that could lift you. Lift you. So notice all the factors about Chandrasen is not by guess that he is living. He made great sacrifices. So now he is a good, close friend of Manibhadra. They didn't talk about other friends. You see, when you come to this point of spirituality, you don't have many friends. Life is not a popularity contest. Anytime you have endless friends all sides, there's something wrong with you. Check it out. You're not spiritual. Jaisa kaach kaache, vaisa naach nache. You dance according to how the drum beat. Dare to be different. Dare to be different. Because there is where you're going to go to the higher levels, higher planes. So devotees, all that is to explain Chandrasen, that great king of Ujjain city, and the closeness of Manibhadra. Common factor, devotion to Bhagavan Shankar. एक समय उस मणिभद्र से ने प्रसन्न होकर राजा चंद्रसेन की बड़ी सुंदर चिंतामणि प्रदान की, जो कौस्तुभ मणि के समान कांतिमान और सूर्य के समान प्रकाशित थी, तथा जो ध्यान करने, देखने और सुनने से भी निश्चय ही कल्याण देती थी. Once these two performed a great tapasya together. Manibhadra. Of course, Manibhadra being a devotee of Shiva, a leading disciple, he would encourage Chandrasen to do the same thing. No slackness, no nonsense, don't waste time. Intense austerities were offered. Great devotions performed, as we say. Manibhadra was highly impressed with the attitude of Chandrasen, and he gave to him a very precious gem. It is said, brilliant as the sun, shining like the Kaustubh Mani, that gem that Lord Vishnu carries. This has such reflection. And here it is said, to meditate upon it, to see it, to listen about it, blessings and bliss come to an individual. Chandrasen, Shri Bhakt Chandrasen, he got that gem as a token of his sacrifices, a reward from Manibhadra. He placed it about his neck, and it was like another son. Very, very happy. You see, like the sun amongst all the stars, when the sun rises, all stars disappear. Even the moon loses its radiance. This was how he appeared. So Raja Chandrasen was rewarded for his devotion, and devotees, they may want to take it as a physical thing, but I always feel something deeper than that. Right? And it has to be bordering on what I call that Gyaan Bhakti, Para Bhakti. Para Bhakti is a supreme gem. Right? It's referred to as a gem, not a light. Because a gem is self-effulgent. It doesn't depend on anything for its reflection. So, however we take it. But he placed that gem about his neck and returned to his kingdom. Got it blessed and so on and placed it in a very special spot. But now what happened? Devotees, do you know what's the price of success? Anybody knows? I know many of you are aware. The price of success is envy, jealousy, enmity. In most cases. All you have to do for people to start to hate you, you'll be successful. Wise. But I mean, you could also behave bad, eh? But success in the devotees, success. Sometimes, and I keep mentioning this, I don't want to choke fire, but where you think enemies come from? Far? Where enemies come from? Inside. Those around you. You achieve a success, you hear, she feels she great, she feels this. Notice saying she, eh? So devotees, you know what happens on these circumstances. Okay. Devotees Chandrasen had a problem. What was his problem? अन्य राजाओं को तृष्णा हो गई और उस मणि पर उनका मन लुभा गया. There were surrounding kings, surrounding areas. In India, devotees have many kingdoms. Eh? So Ujjain was one, and you have all around kings in their own kingdom. When they heard that Chandrasen was the recipient of this wonderful gem, what the eyes see grieved the heart. Isn't that so? When you see you have no control over the senses. Now if you have control over the senses, the eyes could see whatever, the ears could hear whatever, etc. These things don't mean anything to you. How many people like that? Now you have to answer that question. I'm not being judgmental. But we know for a fact that everybody, you hear something, you're vexed or you're elated. You see something, same thing. The senses caught up, impacted upon, because we have no control. And many times, what happens? Man ki laddu bhai. You're in a position, somebody feel that they need your help, man, if you hear wah, you get in there. And you get noticed, you get carried away. And when you see they get what they want, flash of lightning. They're gone. They're gone. All you had that experience in life? You should be familiar with these kind of things, devotees. And it doesn't change. You're going to get worse. Human temperament is like that. Because everybody else, you think they have control over the senses? Who want to control the senses? So devotees, the kings, who are supposed to be exemplars, setting the example, like many of the leaders and so on and so forth, setting the example of spirituality, etc., overpowered by greed. They all wished, each one wanted to get that gem. Shamelessly, they went to Chandrasen and said, "Oh, Chandrasen, give us that gem." Now, I don't know how they'll split that gem in, there were 9 kings. How they will split that in 9 pieces? They didn't think about that. Any devotees? Now, sometimes we have to know in society in a more mundane level. Sometimes you have something and everybody wants it. And your life is a hell because everybody wants it. You know, there's a nice little story that tells us. There's once a bird, got a nice piece of, you know what it eats now. And from the time the bird got that, the whole flock come and attack him. They want it. He took that in his beak and he began to fly all about and chasing him. And then ultimately, he got the sense. He dropped it. He dropped it from his beak. He sat on a branch, hooked on, and all of them started to fight for it. Sometimes the solution is, let go. Let go. That hard, eh? Very hard to let go. But then no problem. Let the whole flock chase after you, and if they get a chance, they eat you too. Simple lessons scriptures teach us. We don't learn. We feel these things as stories. There's the advice and the experience of the sages, devotees. So those kings otherwise, if they were to get that, they would fight between themselves, because everybody wanted. Greed. Greed, devotees, is a terrible internal disease. Terrible. Who would want to part with such a precious gift given to them by a precious friend? Chandrasen rebuked them. How dare you ask me for this gift? Now, it wasn't a sense of, possession or whatever. a more sentimental value and the power of it, etc., why would I part with it? He rebuked them. And then in society you have many who believe, if I can't get something by asking for it, what should I do? Take it. Become aggressive. Shoot, chop, kill, do whatever, but I'm going to get it. Society. And so devotees, these kings decided if they couldn't get that gem by asking, they're going to take it by force. And all the kings, 9 armies, they surrounded the city of Ujjain. They laid siege to the city. For what purpose? To kill everybody and take that gem. You see, devotees, how desires could be very, very deadly. Deadly. And we have mentioned this in Gita. You know, attachment leads to desire. Desire unfulfilled leads to anger. Anger leads to delusion, sammoha. Delusion leads to loss of memory. Loss of memory leads to intellect, reasoning power, degenerate. And when that happens, paranashyati, you self-destruct. You self-destruct. Everything starts with association, and that breeds desire. This is why you go back now. You associate with the holy company, that your whole influence, everything upon you be different. Not this hard, eh? It's hard for ordinary people to live up to. So this is why it's very hard to get out of it. But these are the lessons. So devotees, siege. Could 9 armies, could 1 army, say inside Ujjain, fight 9 armies? Think about the disparity in numbers, etc. And common sense will say if you have to fight a battle, at least must have a chance to win. Could Chandrasen have any chance to win this battle? And in life, all of us are cornered like this time and again. We are cornered. And then, many decide, I can't take this boy. Can't take this. So either alcohol, drugs, suicide, some trip they get mad. Different solution people try as an escape. Not to solve the problem. They try to escape the problem. That doesn't happen. What Chandrasen did. What was his strength? What was his life like? Worship of Bholinath, Bhagwan Shankar. Now I want people to pay attention closely to what I am telling you here. This is solution to life's problems. Solution. Now you will hear that he prayed, but nothing happened overnight. Now for now things will happen. But you still make your effort. Chandrasen had that lingam, and devotees, he went there and he began to worship Bhagwan Shankar, worshiping that Shiva Lingam in the established, recommended manner. Devotees, remember he was a devotee of Shivaji. He surrendered to Shivaji. Yeah, he surrendered to Shivaji. And this is the key point, that when we are confronted by circumstances, etc., the idea of surrender. Do you surrender? We do surrender, think carefully. Lord Shiva, I'm doing this for you, help me. Lord Shiva, kill the enemy. Lord Shiva, have you surrendered? Have you surrendered? Now this is the key, devotees, surrender. That means you give up all sense of the I-ness, whatever else. You leave everything in the hands of the Lord. We have been saying this over and over. The solution comes that way. What Bhagavan said in the Gita, to remind you again, Ananyas chintayantu mang ye janha padyupasate teshang nityabhiyuktanang yoga chemam vahamyaham. Though treat this thing lightly in the devotees, and this part of it, SWAHA has used it as part of its motto, so to speak. Yoga chemam vahamyaham. Bhagavan says, he who unconditionally surrenders to me, Surrender, ananya bhav, exclusive devotion. I personally look after that person's needs and security. Or try to understand what scriptures say. Don't treat it just like a language and you bypass it. Get the essence of it. I personally look after the person's needs as well as security. The promise of the Lord. Devotees, Chandrasen from this kind of background, this kind of belief. And what else could he do? Having worshipped, surrendered unconditionally. And here tonight, anybody in this kind of situation, I'm putting it to you. Pour your heart out to Shiva, surrender. Miracles do happen. Chandrasen prayed, and this is how I pray. शरण में अपने रख मुझको दया में दास हूँ तेरा तुम्हें तज कर कहा जाऊँ कि तू कोई न है मेरा शरण में अपनी रख मुझको Bholenath, please take me into your protective shelter. Daya, have compassion upon me, your servant, a servant of yours. In other words, in mind, word and deed, I am surrendering to you. Tumhe tajakar, if you turn me away, Prabhuji, kaha jaun? Where shall I go? Feelings of helplessness, na devotees? That bring about feeling of total dependence on the Lord. Kaha jaun, Shivaji, kaha? Hitu koi nahe mera. There is none else but you who can champion my cause, Bholenath. Devotee, listen to the words, but feel it. And if at this point you can pray like that, how wonderful it will be. The king prayed, we all should pray. Sharan mein apni rakh mujhko daya mein dasan कहा जाऊं कि तू कोई न है मेरा भटकता मैं हूँ मुदत से नहीं विश्राम पाता हूँ दया की दृष्टि से देखो दया की दृष्टि से देखो नहीं तो डूबता सताया राग द्वेषों ने सताया राग द्वेषों ने तपाया दीन कपूरी तपाया दीन कपूरी जलाया जन्म मृत्यु ने जलाया जन्म मृत्यु ने किया कंदहार बहुत Shiva teri na hai koi. Bholinath, I've been roaming all over in my ignorance. I find no peace. I ask you to shower your compassion and grace upon me. I'm drowning in this ocean of ignorance, Bholinath. The pairs of opposites consume me. The three types of pain affect me. I am lost. I am being burnt in the fires of birth and death. What is my condition, Bholinath? The unhappiness that I experience, I can't express, but you know of it. The only one who knows of it, you are Sarvagya. But what I do know, O Lord, Shiva teri na hai koi. Except you, there is none else who could help me. None else. Hence here and now, Prabhuji, Hey Deen Dayalu Kripa Sagar, here and now, I unconditionally surrender to you. I seek your protective shelter. That total dependence upon you, Bholinath. Mera dukh metne wala, mera dukh metne wala, Shiva teri na hai koi. Sharan mein gira ab to, sharan mein gira ab to, bharosa ab bhari. Kshama aparadh kar meri, क्षमा अपराध कर मेरी, फकत अब आश है तेरी, फकत अब आश है तेरी, दया बलदेव पर कर के, दया हरदेव पर कर के, बना लो नाथ निज चेहरा, बना लो नाथ निज चेहरा, शरण अपनी हे रख मुझको, दया में दास तेरा, तुम्हें तज कर कहा जाऊं, तुम्हें तजकर कहा जाऊं प्रभु जी, हे भोलेनाथ, कि तू कोई नहीं मिला. Devotees, if you understand, and you know, sometimes I feel that only when we're in real trouble that we could appreciate this kind of bhajan. When things good, mind jump like monkey all about. When trouble take you, then these bhajans, if you can, you know, as they are saying that in trouble everybody pray. In happiness nobody pray. But if you pray in happiness, you don't have to wait for trouble to pray. In other words, if at this point I have no problem and I can pray in this kind of way, that's an insurance. I'm getting the protective shelter of my Lord. Devotees, I'm saying you don't have to wait for something to happen. Think about it. Why I'm saying all these things, I've been trying to remind people. Man lives himself by himself, man sings himself by himself. Everybody alone. I'm trying to convey to you, everybody lonely. When push comes to shove, nobody, who could help who? Think about it. No matter who. You're alone. Everybody. So I am saying that when things are good with us, you know, have this attitude. That feeling of self-surrender. How could you go wrong? Devotees, now this king, all the time, doing his best worshipping. Time of distress. You think there will be no response? He prayed like this, he surrendered. And here, See Suji saying, when Chandrasen surrendered to himself, surrendered to Bhagwan Shankar in this way, फिर तो महाकालेश्वर ने प्रसन्न हो उसकी रक्षा का उपाय किया. Listen carefully to what I am saying. Bhagwan Shankar, Mahakaleshwar, very pleased with the devotions as offered by Chandrasen. But what he did, to protect him, uski raksha ka upay, he created a circumstance whereby the king will be protected. He didn't come same time and do something. All of us expect, no for no. No for no. And many times we say nature conspires. This is why I keep telling people, wake up. Nature conspires to put factors in place to help us. Other things happen. If you surrender to God, that Supreme Lord is the supreme jigsaw puzzle player. He knows the whole picture. I mentioned time and again, he knows the old picture. We don't know. We have a piece or two of the puzzle. And when we please him, he is the supreme. He is juggler. He pulls the strings, put factors in place to help us. Even the impossible becomes possible. But we have to please him. And this you could only do on your own. Nobody could do it for you. Is I talking all that? I can't do it for you, you know. That's a good thing to know. Many times Baba say all kind of thing, But when time you have to accept if he does do it. You know? Remember the case of where Baba used to preach, if you have faith and belief, you could walk on water. Baba didn't Gyaan too bad. And there was a devotee, you always have good devotees in between. She lived over a river. And Baba said, if you have faith and belief, you can walk on water and come to the Yag. Every day she walk and coming over the water, coming to the Yag. When the Yag finished last day, the Baba had to cross the same river. So here and the lady going, yeah. So the lady going to walk. She said, Betty, you're going to walk in the water? He said, Baba, ain't you say if you have belief, you go walk? And Jai Sri Ram, and she walk. You think the Baba believe? The Baba take a step and grump, he go inside the water. That's when my Shul came pull him out. Because he preaching only. Here living the life. There are plenty talkers. Very few practice. For devotees, when you listen, certain things I tell you with conviction. I can tell you, you can do it. Yana, why would if I could do it or not? I will have to know that. But if you have that belief and faith and conviction, anything is possible. It depends on you, the individual, not God. You take one step towards the Lord, he takes many steps towards us. So devotees, it's instructive to note, right? We have expectation, no? I pray to Lord Shiva, you can make this happen, you can make that happen. And we don't have patience to wait. But here it is said, he created an upay, a means by which that king will be protected. We shall hear the means. Right? It wasn't immediate all of a sudden. And devotees, over and over, I keep saying that. You know, if you have a boil in your hand, you can't burst it from the time the boil appear. You have to wait for it to ripe now. Choose the right time, then burst it. You think God doesn't know? If from the time you boil appear, you take it out. You never have any belief. None of us will have belief. See? And then inherent in this statement is time. Bada nahi insan, bada nahi bhagwan. Asman dharti se kehta. Samay, bada balwan. Everything takes place in time. The greatest force. So devotees, how many nice points here. I mean, this thing, Bhagwan, he will look after the affairs of Chandrasen. He promised that. Yoga chemam vahamyaham. I will personally look after your needs. What you have and what is unobtained, I bring it for you. And your security, I personally look after your security. This is a bhakti talking about here. You think Bhagwan allowed me to fall apart? No, Chandrasen didn't doubt the Lord. He prayed with conviction and surrender, attitude. You don't pray to see if something will happen. Then you don't have belief. Get in your head this point of mine I'm making to you. Sometimes I tell people, do 9 Friday fast. Baba, go try it and see what will happen. See, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. You're wasting my time and wasting yours. The attitude. Because we expect everything to happen now, without any sacrifice. No gain without pain, devotees. But if you don't have that belief and conviction, everything happens in the right time. Have that belief. You can never go wrong. Chandrasen devotees, what was the upay Bhagwan Shankar created? What was the upay he created? Nobody go look at it as a means, but this is the means. While Chandrasen was praying and making his offerings and so on, a gopi, who is a gopi? A cowherdess. In there you have the cowherdess. The cowherdesses, remember the gopis, Krishna Bhagwan? Yeah. A gopi, she came there with a 5-year-old son. She was a widow. Her husband had died. And without too much distraction, or digression I should say, in society today we have people saying, if somebody is a widow, you can't go temple, why? You can't help in nobody puja. You can't purchase nobody wherein. Your husband dead. All I hear that? I shall hear that. Now if you have a madman like me, you know what I will tell you? You get 5 ladies, you put sindoor from here to here and have 6 husbands. You purchase. Yeah. Hypocrisy. Hypocrisy. Why do we have to alienate people? Why? That's a different topic. And I do believe in nonsense at all. No? Many times, to digress as I said, we have, husband die, mother brought up children, time to give them away. You ask uncle and aunt, beg this one, beg that one. Mother, you do it. And I stand on solid ground, devotee. I challenge anybody, come argue, What we do today is not kanyadan. Kanyadan is child marriage. In a child marriage, you have to have the mother and father. We do putri dan. And the law says you can't get married under 18. 18 and over. I myself push for that, become law. SWAHA push for that. So what you do is putri dan. I have allowed fathers to give away daughter. I have allowed mother to give away. Wait a minute about husband, that uncle and aunt, and sometimes the kind of family split you have, and the kind of way they pull on you. And one, you want me to do kanyadan, you have to buy a sari for me. You have to buy this kind of sari, and this is, go to hell. Yeah, I'm not doing that. These things happen, devotees, because you're vulnerable, and all because of some stupid principle. If a husband die, you're sinful, malach. And while others live in committing sin. Just all understand. I keep saying, somebody asked me if I do frighten, I say I do pay license from my mouth, and I keep saying that. Right? But in time to come, people understand what I am saying. All this nonsense that we do here. It suits its purpose in India and so on and so forth. But time, place, circumstances, you have to make adjustments, adaptations to suit. And why it is that, this segregation, this bias against women. And if you go to the Gita, chapter, I can what chapter? Bhagwan said, the untouchables and women also can do that. That's a state, women also. Because the society didn't allow women to do certain things. So I just thought I'll mention that. So this widow devotees, husband died, yes, widow, but she came with a child, and they sat there, and what she did was a very good job with her child. Train the child, prepare the child to learn. Wherever the child would go, place of devotion and so on, show the respect. The child sat there, and it is to your benefit it happens. The child sat there, and in full attention, observed what the king was doing, performing puja. And this is a whole topic by itself again. So I will keep telling people, yes, bring your children to temple, don't send them, bring them. Sit with them, right? Bond with them. Children live what they learn. They live what they learn. And examples are important in the home, in the society, but devotees, we understand society degenerating badly. What kind of example they getting from society? Even from the leaders in the country, what kind of example they getting? So you know what? Your child is your responsibility, not mine. But I try to do whatever I can to help. You see? So it is parental responsibility to bring up that child with the right values, which this mother did, in spite of the husband not being there. And devotees experience again. One time, one of my goddaughters, her husband died. She had 3 children. I forgot her name, but in any case, I won't call her name. I said, oh, it's a sad thing, eh? You know, her husband gone. She said, Guruji, he good, he dead. Because he'll be a bad effect on the children. So he wouldn't be any kind of role model for the children. God, no. Nature conspires. Take him. Take him. I stop interfering in anything, not devotees. I stop playing God. And I keep saying, I know it have a God and it's not me. Yeah. But devotees, you see different perspectives. Right? The idea is impact upon children. And if it's one compelling reason why we need to do what we're supposed to do, because remember, all of you going down, they're coming up. They're the next generation. Don't expect to get anything out of them if you didn't put anything into them. Or what you put into them, what you're going to get out of them. Bear that in mind. So everybody has a responsibility, that next generation, teach them the right way, the right values. As we say, running the relay, prepare them for that leg that they have to run. Because we will be dependent upon them in time to come, when they get older. Dependent upon them. Okay? So understand, Jaisa Karni, Vaisa Bharni. They hope karma come about too. You want to do what you're supposed to do, you get the penalty. Pay the penalty for it. You do what you're supposed to do, Jaisa Karni, Vaisa Bharni. Simple. Though not so simple. Devotees, so this child observed everything the king did. How he prayed and so on and so forth. There was some time when the young and I try not to bowl too much, because if you see the Changu, who must have a ball like me, you know what happened? He said, oh, he ball like Guruji. Yeah. I get old already, so excuse me for that. Devotees, after some time, mother and child left and went home. Now, I hope you're thinking what I said just now. That Bhagwan Kirtan Upai. What is Upai? What does he means? You create a miracle and all of a sudden you end? This is the Upai. Indirectly. Follow closely. You not even see it nor understand it. But if you have the faith, belief and confidence, it is happening. The Lord's work is slow but very, very sure. Now watch what happened. When the child went home, devotees, after a while observing puja and so on, now he decided he wanted to do puja just as the king did puja. This is Upai. Now the king had a lingam. He had to get a stone. So he went in the yard and he got a little stone, to put it in a simple way, and he put the stone there in the devotees. And he didn't have any ingredients. No ingredients. The king had Ganga Jal, Bel Patra, Chandan, everything. He had no ingredients. But you know what? A child's fantasy, a child's play, a child's mental. This is key here now. He imagined that he was offering Ganga Jal. Now devotees, I don't want to dig people too much now, but sometimes you have the Ganga Jal and you offer it, I want you to follow me, sorry. And? Now if you offer it in your mind, you have to focus. You're studying anything else, but you're offering it in your mind. Mental level. The focus has to be there. Offering Ganga Jal, offering Chandan, Belpat, all the ingredients. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Devotees offering all these ingredients in his mind. As he saw the king doing. Remember, there was no physical ingredient. So this is called Mansik Puja. Mansik Puja. Alright? So devotees, this child offered everything. Now, he had no long Sanskrit stotra and whatever mantra thing. Simple mantra, Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. And you know, devotees, again, I keep telling people simplicity is great. Right? I mean, simple mantra, Om Namah Shivaya. What's wrong with that? Baba is all I have to say. So no hit him tambulang hit him a fulungango. Say. Ganga Jalu Katumedi Alu. See if we can say it. Stupidness, and you, what is Om Namah Shivaya? People don't go for simplicity in the devotees. You feel more the technical thing, you say the bit, no nonsense. You know, some people want to get the 1000 name of Lord Shiva for Sunday morning. You could say it. I could give it in Sanskrit. You could read it. Maha Bhakta. Set your mind and I will say the mantra you come on offer. But, you know, everybody want to know now. And that knowledge is not for devotion's sake. It's for your own ego's sake. Anyway, let's leave that right there. These critical statements and devotees. This child ain't worrying about anybody. Notice his puja. Now notice the king performed physical offering. The child performed mental offering. But there was one thing in common. The king was saying this mantra, Sharam Yap Narak Mujako. The child devotees, what he learned? Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya Namah. 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 Namah Shivaya, Shivaya Namah. Namah Shivaya, Shivaya Namah. Namah Shivaya, Shivaya Namah. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya Namah. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya Namah. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya Namah. Shiva, 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 Shivaya Namah. Shiva, 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 Shivaya Namah. Hara, 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 Haraya Namah. Hara, 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 Haraya Namah. Shiva, 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 Shivaya Namah. Hara, 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 Haraya Namah. Shiva, Hara, Hara, Shiva, Shivaya Namah. Bhava, 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 Bhavaya Namah. Shiva, 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 Shivaya Namah. Hara, 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 Haraya Namah. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya Namah. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya Namah. Om Namah Shivaya. And devotees, there are 5 mantras that Bhagavan Shankar, as called the Shiv Puran, given to us. One is Om Namah Shivaya. Powerful mantra. The child chanted that. And you know, Notice, mental but vachik, chanting the mantra. And then after a while, he remained very silent. And it's like he went into a deep meditative state. Deep meditative state. The children devotees, they have this concentration. Outside, if they put their mind outside, it doesn't distract them at all. Nothing on the outside distracts them. And I don't want to make it too complex talking about the 5 mental planes, but we have discussed all that already. All right? Niruddhaman, mind withdrawn from everything on the outside, totally lost. And I can't say exactly where he was, but that state of ecstasy that he was in, lost in devotion to Bhagwan Shankar. The mother by this time looking for him to feed him. Mothers know when children are hungry and so on. But sometimes they feel when they're hungry, but they're not really hungry. Different type of hunger. The mother started to call him, and devotees, nothing. Then she came in search of him, and she found him sitting before this small stone, eyes closed. Who would believe that a child capable of that kind of concentration? Especially adults who can't even concentrate so. They would have heard somebody coming, even though Shiva coming. This child heard nothing. The mother was calling him, he heard nothing. Niruddhaman, restrained mind, shut out the external, oblivious to the external circumstances. And we keep saying, devotee, praying from your heart is this. Praying from your heart is not sitting and crying and praying. Praying from your heart is not physical thing. Praying from your heart is withdrawing all the senses. Having mind senses under control. You focus totally, like Hanumanji. Tortoise pulling in all his limbs. Heart shell on the outside. Oblivious to the external surroundings. One moment of prayer like that is praying from your heart. And anybody prays one moment like that, nothing is impossible. But devotees is to pray that moment. It doesn't happen so. If you have no control over the mind, notice where we started off. The king praying like that. But the child, look at the child. This is why time and again we say we must be childlike in our approach to devotion. Innocence, purity, all the wonderful, the belief system. Belief system. And devotees, to be honest with you, even I myself fall victim to the kind of thing. If I really put a Shiva, he will appear, boy. I will see him. In that statement, there's some doubt expressed. A child will say, if I put a Shiva, I will see him. I will see him. And it's a very strange thing when we're small, that you cannot believe we have. And sorry to say, devotees, when I get big, I get stupid. No, I ain't saying all, yeah? I saying I. Because as a child, you pray, you know. As an adult, I wonder if it will happen. You have to get stupid as you get older. Why the shaken faith in belief? A challenge. So therefore, the attitude of children, that innocence, that purity, that firm belief. A child will take a matchbox, driving a truck. For him, that is a truck. You will say, he's stupid, boy, that matchbox. You know what his reality is? That's the mental level. Now, as adults, for the passing of time, I'm going to put down all of us. Different kind of negativity started creeping. Like that pure drop of distilled water fall from the cloud. Pure. But when it hit the ground, what happens to it? It becomes muddied. Muddied. So that is what, when it's baby and so on, pure, wonderful, pure innocence, etc. That's how they get bigger now. Kama, Krodha, Loba, Moha, Mat, Marcelis, Sangyakao. All the negativity begin to attack the heart. So rather than become pure, or maintain that purity, become impure. And you know what? Sometimes I talk. People say children that age shouldn't do puja. Because they ain't Christian yet, they're impure. What nonsense you telling me? So devotees, attitude is important in prayer. Look at this, and it's mansik, mind. And if you have a strong mind, mansik puja, as a matter of fact, mansik puja is higher. It is the highest type of puja. So you have Upansu, Mansik, Vachik. Vachik and Mansik. Right? Mansik the mind, Vachik is true word, physical offerings. So I can make all the offerings here in the devotees, as we have been doing for how many years? But we all know. Bahya Bhakti, focus on the color flowers, the color clothes you wearing, how you jingling, how this, how that, how if he finish cook, going through motions. A child has nothing to worry about. So this child devotees, nothing to worry about except Shiva. As a man thinketh, so he becometh. Wonderful way to pray. If adults could pray like that, man, you'll see miracles. Devotees, the mother saw him sitting before this stone. But he pretend to playing yogi. I show all of custom here, no, them statement. You're playing Pundit. You're playing sadhu. If you don't eat meat and then you're playing Pundit. Our society. Many have already exposed to that already. We know that. I don't talk about guests and devotees. I don't. Keep saying it over and over. As if to be a sadhu, something wrong with that. Something wrong with being a sadhu? So devotees, the mother, her intent was to feed the child. She pulled him up. I'm calling you so long. And devotees, the child wasn't conscious in the physical sense. He was deep in concentration, Bhagavan Shankar. And when she pulled him up, that shake up a swatch, all he said was, hey Dev, Shiva, Shiva. And he fell unconscious. Change in concentration, energy level. That's why we keep telling people, I've made this point countless times. When we're in Yagya, you do puja, Kirtan, bhajan, right? Sit quiet now. Don't disturb the person next to you. You don't know what kind of concentration they're in. If there's no concentration, you could dig them, no problem. But if you see the person praying, were you digging them? Why do you think they tell you, like in libraries and so on, hospitals, etc., don't make noise. Don't make noise. That change in energy level could shock a person, internal. Understand? So devotees, this child fell unconscious. But the mother's intent wasn't bad. When she saw her son unconscious, she also became scared. And she, simple way, she fell down, unconscious. So both mother and son unconscious. What is Upai Bhagwan passing on here, boy? What means he trying to teach and to help that city of Ujjain? Hard, eh? Many people think, what kind of, like a trouble in trouble. And we jump to the conclusion, God can be helping them. Wait now, man, hold on. Watch and see the full length of, the strength of the Upai. So now, after some time, devotees, the child woke up. But I didn't mention, the mother picked up that stone and she threw it outside. When mothers get vexed, you must get a slap or two. And whatever you have, she do like, you go pelt it away. And most times, so devotees pelt away this. And then the child was very much unconscious, mother unconscious. Some time passed, it is not stated how long, the devotees, the child came back to normal consciousness. But what he realized, that he was in a, to put it simply, you see where that stone he worshipped fell? In the yard, out of the ground, a Shiva Lingam appeared. A Shiva Lingam appeared. Beautiful Shiva Lingam. But not only Lingam appeared, like everything was transformed. A temple covering over it, and a whole description given here, which wouldn't mean much to us in devotees. But the child was very much impacted upon. Very much impacted upon. वह क्षण भर के लिए परमानंद सागर में मग्न हो गया. You can imagine his ecstasy, his joy. Not the small stone, he got his own Shiva Lingam. Beautiful one, all of a sudden. Now for the child, that's not a miracle, Right? We know when a stone come out of the gong, don't pinal. Everybody going to see the stone come out of the gong. And? All went? When I see Ganesh drinking milk, everybody go to feed Ganesh. Tamasha. We people, all people like that. Tamasha. Miracle, not a child. Remember when we Krishna Katha? When Bhagavan Krishna put himself between the two trees, and the children, the mother fox say, yeah, Krishna went between the two trees, pulled, the two trees fell down, two fellows came, they prayed and they went up heaven. Who could believe the children talking the truth? And they talking the truth. Adults see them, children could lie, boy. You doubt what they saw? The attitude we're talking about of children is important here. That wasn't a miracle for the child. He prayed to Shiva. All of us will say, oh my God, the lingam appeared out of the ground. What a wonderful spot. For the child, it was a joy, not a miracle. And here it is said, Paramanand Sagar, ocean of Paramanand, supreme bliss. And devotees, Shaivism is very deep and old too. And we keep saying Anand and Sukh and whatever. But Anand means delight, Paramanand. There are 7 different types of delight. Sometimes I like to galley a little bit now, to let people know, so I won't elaborate. But there is Nij Anand. Remember the words? There is Nir Anand, Paranand, Paramanand, Paramanand, Paranand, Brahmanand, that's 4. Maha Anand, Chidanand, and Jagat Anand. 7 levels of Anand, delight. So, they why I keep saying when you think we know scriptures, so much more to know. So much more. And this 7 type of delight we experience in us. There are 7 levels of Gyaan, 7 upper levels, 7 lower levels. All these things are instructive in Hinduism. But everything relates to the individual. He wasn't Paranand. So not Nijanand, not Niranand, Paranand. Like 3rd stage. Now, when he saw that, what the child would want to do, even though the mother pulled him up and then whatever, you think a child will be angry with his mother? A child now, a child. When the child come, a young man or woman, he murdered this, he murdered that, I ain't cussing, right? Yeah, the mother, whatever the mother is, yeah. Mother is the enemy. The child doesn't behave like that at all. Child always, Ma is Ma. And he wanted to go and share this good news with the mother devotees. But when he went to where his home was, what he saw, the whole house transformed. That old hut that they had, and the old gopi clothes that she put on and so on, she was unconscious still, but in a sort of palang, a hammock now. But everything transformed. She was beautifully dressed. The child's prayer transformed everything around, everything. The child woke up his mother, Ma, look what has happened. When the mother came back, devotees, I can't express her delight. They didn't say what her delight was like. When she went to that spot and she saw that Shiva Lingam, joy, ecstasy. Now don't forget, on the outside, the 9 armies waiting to fight. Right? Chandrasen praying. Look what happened in this gopi, in the yard of the gopi. Not any kind of swami and sadhu thing, no. An ordinary cowherdess who was a widow, that society put down. Society put her down. She blight. Watch. God didn't say she blight. Shiva appeared in that yard. Devotees, mother and son worshipped. And good news spread like bad news. Very fast. In a short while, devotees, everybody came to know that, you know what? Shivaji has appeared in the yard of a gopi. Now, sun was setting at this point in time. All this happened in daytime. Sun was setting at this point in time. Surya Asta ho gaye. Now, the king heard whatever had happened in this kingdom. No big tamasha, Shivaji has appeared in lingam form. He completed his puja. He didn't run quick to go and see if Shivaji appeared. Even though Shivaji, he was doing a breath here, he was doing his worship. You can't go, you shouldn't leave that without the conclusion. So therefore, what he did, concluded his puja. And then devotees, he went across to the home of the gopi. And many people came there. And seeing this is a very wonderful, rejoicing kind of thing, devotees. Everybody clapping, singing, praying, praising Bhagavan Shankar. Mangalam Bhagwan Shambhu, Mangalam Vrishabhadvaja, Mangalam Parvati Natha, Mangalam Bhakta Vatsala. Shiva Shambhu Dinu ki Bandhu Namo Namah Girijapati Gangadhar Harihar Namo Namah Shiva Shambhu Dinu ki Bandhu Namo Namah Girijapati Gangadhar Harihar Namo Namah Chandra Tripurari Sukhkar Hardhani Neelakantha Sajeti Kundatu Hardhani Bhava Bhayhari Asurari Shiva Namo Namah He Girijapati Gangadhara Harihar Namo Namah Shiva Shambhu Dinu ki Bandhu Namo Namah Girijapati Gangadhar Harihar Namo Namah Dama 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 rubinash se jagadhole Nitya kare nataraja uma sangabam bhole Surasani kalyani shankar namo namah He girijapati gangadhar harihar namo namah Shiva Shambhu Dinu ki Bandhu Namo Namah Girijapati Gangadhar Harihar Namo Namah वृषभ की असवारी शंभु महल ओंकार विशाखी बलिहारी अविनाशी सुख राशि सुरसरी नमो नमः हे गिरिजपति गंगाधर हरिहर नमो नमः शिव शंभु दिनों की बंधु नमो नमः गिरिजपति गंगाधर हरिहर नमो नमः शंकर नमामि शंकर शिव शंकर शंभो हे गिरिजापति भवानी शंकर हे प्रजापति हे गिरिजापति भवानी शंकर भवानी शंकर भवानी शंकर हे शिव शंकर शंभु शिव शंकर शंभु बोलो शिव शंकर शंभु हे शिव शंकर नमामि शंकर शिव शंकर शंभु बोलो शिव शंकर. The devotees the entire night clapping, singing devotions to Bhagavan Shankar, not at all worrying, not even slightest bit that these armies on the outside waited to attack. Their mind totally fixed on Bhagavan Shankar from their hearts. Om Namah Parvati Pataye Hara Hara. Om Namah Parvati Pataye Hara Hara. He Hara Hara Shankar Mahadeva. O Hara Hara Shankar Mahadeva. Om Hara 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 Mahadeva Bolo. Om Hara 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 Mahadeva Bolo. Om Shiva 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 Shiv Sada Shiva. Aha Shiva 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 Shiv Sada Shiva. Om Hara 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 Mahadeva Bolo. Om Shiva 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 Sada Shiva Bolo. Om Hara Shiva Shiva Hara Mahadeva Bolo. Om Shiva 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 Sada Shiva. Aha Shiva 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 Sada Shiva. Om Mahadeva Sada Shiva. Om Sada Shiva Mahadeva. Om Namah Parvati Pataye Hara Hara. Hara Hara Shankar Mahadeva. He Hara Hara Shankar Mahadeva. O Hara Hara Shankar Mahadeva. Devotees rejoicing, genuine feeling from the heart, praising Shivaji whole night. The kings on the outside, they had spies within the city who now reported back to them. O kings, you all are waiting to attack, but Lord Shiva has appeared in the yard of a gopi. And nobody taking on you all. They're clapping, singing, making merriment, worshipping Shiva for the whole night. That simple incident, these kings conferred. And what was their conclusion? If Lord Shiva has appeared in the yard of a gopi, it means he's protecting these people. He's protecting them. And therefore, if we persevere or persist in trying to fight, he will destroy us. Shivaji will destroy us. Better to have a friend than an enemy. And so devotees, that impacted upon their mind. And they took a decision. Forget war. Forget all that. Chandrasen should be our friend. Discarding all their weapons and so on. In humility, repentant, they approached Raja Chandrasen. And of course, they asked for his friendship. filled with remorse for what they planned, what they did before. Devotees, the king didn't want to have any enemy either. And, to put it simply, without even lifting a blade of grass to save himself, the enemy became a friend. Here's an example. Garal Sudha Ripukare Mitai, Gopar Sindhu Anal Shatalai, we read in Ramayana, Lankini told Hanuman, Garal Sudha, poison becomes like Amrit nectar. Garal Sudha Ripukare Mitai, the enemy becomes a friend. Gopar Sindhu, the ocean becomes like a hoof point of the cow. Anal Shatalai, fire loses its burning power. Bhari Sumeru Parvat become like a grain of sand. For who? A person who is a devotee of the Lord. If you're a devotee of the Lord, nothing could go wrong. Understand, devotees? And this is the solution. Nothing otherwise. Nothing otherwise. The biggest problem can be solved simply through this way. But most of us, the last, upai, the last means we try, when nothing else works. Let that be the first prioritize. God is the answer. God is the answer. So devotees, that's a simple point, but on the other hand, we view also in I think it's Kishkindhakand, or yeah, I think it's Kishkindhakand. What happened there, devotees? They say, when the Lord is your enemy, your mother becomes like death, your father the god of death. Ganga becomes like the river of Vaitarni. Yeah? One enemy becomes like one friend becomes like 100 enemies. Everything turns wrong side, upside down, if you're not a devotee of the Lord. Putting it simply to all of us, when things are going wrong, and everything good, going bad, and whatever one thing, and you come and say, Baba, Guruji, I think it's Ubia, somebody do something, everything going bad. I don't know why I can't say, Dog with manus na. Devotees. I mean, people have this kind of belief, I don't know why. Why? Everybody has challenges. But you have an opportunity to turn to that Lord. Let him, the upay is there, the means are there to help us through life. But we don't think along those lines. You worry about somebody around you, whatever. Devotees, so I want you all to bear this in mind. And this is not a lesson only for now, a lesson for all time, for life itself, in different ways. Now if you notice, that upay, the Lord created that situation. With the gopi coming there, He created it. Shivaji, the child doing puja, mansik puja, to create the lesson, all these things, we can appear, and indirectly, so to speak, change that enemy into a friendship. Not even a blade of grass to save himself. The solution was there. But that is not all. Everybody rejoicing. Jaha sumati, taha sampati nana. Where there is unity together, all good things happen. Jaha kumati. Now sumati and kumati not together. Sumati means union, unity, wisdom. And kumati, opposite, unwisdom. Jaha kumati, taha bipati nidana. Endless adversities. Everything is a vibration. A vibration. Togetherness, oneness, unity. Devotees, everybody here have one thing in common. Shivaji, worship of Shiva. And while they were clapping, singing, dancing, a light from up in the sky so was descended right amongst them. And who appeared? Shankar Swan Kishari Nandan Pavan Putra Bajrang Bali, Hanumanji. Who is Hanuman, devotees? Hanuman is Shivaji himself. 11 Rudras. Hanuman is the 11th Rudra. Hanumanji appeared. But devotees, you could imagine how overjoyed those kings were. That they're not in the wrong side of the Mugdar. Because if they were fighting Chandrasen, imagine Hanuman fighting for Chandrasen, the wrong side of the Mugdar. No? This time devotees, they all had the opportunity to meet Hanuman, get darshan of Hanumanji. They all worship Hanumanji. Why not? Real things happen. You see, when there is unity, there is togetherness, there is the right energy, no undermining, no backstabbing, no hidden agenda. And I'm saying all these things in devotee because even in place of devotion, you have this nonsense going on. Plenty ego stepping into play and creating negative vibrations. If everything is right and controlled, like in this case here, devotees, good things happen. What we may call miracles, good things happen. To everybody. Everybody becomes beneficiary. Everybody benefited from Hanuman's appearance. They worshipped him. And then Hanuman picked up that child. And devotees, he blessed him. He said for all to hear that the 8th generation of this child, the 8th generation, a child will be born whose name will be Nand. Nand. And the Lord, Bhagavan Sri Krishna, will manifest himself as the son of Nand Baba. When I say, we all know the Katha now. He will carry this child's name, Nandalal. And we just had Bhagavad Katha. We know Nand Baba, Nandalala, Yedu Nandalala. Blessing from Bhagwan, Hanumanji, Shivaji's blessings. So the 8th generation of this child, he calls Srikar. 8th generation, Nand Baba. And what our scriptures tell us, anybody in the ancestry in the generation, any person who is an unconditional devotee of God, that entire lineage is liberated. Not Pinda Karam all about, putting Pinda here and Pinda there. Understand? There are different katha, we go into all that. Yeah? It means, goes without saying, imagine Bhagwan came as the son of Nand Baba, his foster father. Genuine devotee. That means that entire lineage was liberated. It started way back in the past with this child who, in the mind, performed Shiv Puja. And look at where it reached. Look at where it reached. So devotees, Hanuman blessed that child, blessed all, until Dhyan hu gayi. He disappeared. That was a day to remember for all those who were present. And we keep saying, life is about memories, no? And good or bad, or mixed memories. Devotees, friendship established, and peace reigned once more. So, devotion to Shiva. Now, that is the easy part of the Katha. So the hard part, I will say very quickly. Now devotees, those kings represent the powers inside of us, the metaphysics now. When we pray plenty, devotion and so on, you see when I mentioned the gem, to hear about it, to see it, that is bhakti, pure bhakti, para bhakti. When we reach to that stage, what happens inside? The kings begin to act up. And who are the kings? Anima, Mahima, Lagima, Garima, Prapti, Parakamya, Ishit, Vashitva. These what they call Ashtasiddhi. The kings begin to act up. So when you see people start to pray and so on, and you're doing good, you're doing very, very good, then all of a sudden you realize you could read people's mind. Or you could say something and it happened. Or you predict something and it happened. Well, you come and see a man overnight. That happened? Nobody want to pursue God and attain God. You want to be Siaman. And many devotees want to do that. Yeah. You fall flat on your face. These kings want to take away that gem. Yeah. What are you looking for? Recognition? Name? What are you looking for? Mobility? Up and down? These things are temporary. And devotees, a lot of the world fall into because of that. Plenty of people praying. When you catch a shakti, you to Kaliyas come on you. Oh, you could see things. Yeah. But you can't see your own destruction. Strange. They don't realize. This is what the Katha is all about. The kings attack. They want to destroy you. But Vairagya, Para Vairagya Shivaji, once you have that attitude, nothing could affect you. And Hanumanji devotee symbolizes, I'm going to explain, the power of Gyaan. Now, there are two things here, two groups of things. There is karma, there is vikshep, and there is agyan. No. Karma, upasana, and gyan. Karma, upasana, and gyan. And there is mal, there is vikshep, and agyan. So now, mal is impurity. So if you put them together, you have two groups. Karma, mal. You have upasana, vikshep. You have Gyaan, you have agyan. Karma, the king performed karma. But notice Shivaji didn't appear. Right? Now karma itself will deal with mal, impurities. And there are three kinds of impurities, devotees. Anav mal, karmi mal, and mayi mal. Anav mal, everybody is born with some degree of impurity because of past karmas. Everybody. So getting initiated is one of the reasons, to purify oneself. Right? So that impurity is there, inherent in everybody, anormal. There's karmiyamal, action. So you do the action, you want the recognition, you want name, you want fame, you want that. That is karmiyamal, that impurity. But Bhagavan said, do everything as an act of offering to me. Who doing that? Why am I give Bhagavan all that? I want it for me. The sense of ego, that is karmiyamal. And mayiyamal, maya. I, the individual, everything's on me. Duality and plurality, multiplicity. Maya. Everybody's suffering from this. If you do the right kind of karma and surrender in the way we mentioned about, you can go beyond Maya. But devotee, the mal. But you know what? Mental distractions. So when you see the mal there, all kind of mental distractions, you see yourself as this, you see yourself as that. You're floating some kind of cloud 9, cloud 10. I know where you're going. You're under a dark cloud, but you can't see it, you don't realize it. Very disturbed. This is where upasana comes in. Upasana, the child, what the child did. A steady, continuous flow. Right? In other words, when you do your karma, if you don't have upasana, you're not going anywhere. The mental aspect must be there. Follow me? I keep saying you could put the flowers, you could light the diya, you could whatever. But if the mental aspect is not there, that continuous flow, those actions come to nothing. And devotees, so that upasana, overcome vikshep, mental distractions. You overcome everything else. Mind doesn't stray, senses don't stray, etc. And when that happens, all of a sudden, Hanuman appears. Who is Hanuman? Gyaan, wisdom. Gyaan. In the individual, in the devotee's head, life, wisdom appears. And wisdom is the only thing, Gyaan is the only thing to destroy Agyan. Otherwise, you're in constant torment, turmoil. It's a journey. It's a journey. Karma, upasana, Gyaan. You have to overcome mal, vikshep, and agyan. This katha had 3 parts. Now you won't hear this, except if I say it. Anabusin. You have to sift. You have to understand scriptures. But this is where the essence of the scripture is. The story nice. The cosmological law is nice. But the interpretation, the inner meaning, metaphysics, this is where it is. So everybody, when they sit to pray, we all have to do karma. All of us did karma for the morning, for the evening. Isn't that so? When you offer your jal, you do your puja, it's karma you're doing. But if you don't have that upasana, that continuous mental flow into what you're doing, Gyaan never comes. Because vikshep will still distract you, take you away. The one of the reasons many people don't care we doing puja, but in all the ritual, bahya bhakti, but we don't reach anywhere far. It doesn't take us anywhere. Because that mental aspect is missing. And then from that, Gyaan goes. And what Bhagavan says in Gita, Gyaan Bhakti. Gyaan is the only thing to overcome Agyan. So devotees, the story we have heard many times, and I challenge you to try to understand this last part I mentioned here. I can't make it a discourse by itself because it will be too hard for people. I've shown you the practicality of it. First part, the king, Gyaan. The second part, Upasana. Hanumanji appeared, Gyaan. The king is on the outside. Karmas, they start thinking, Upasana, the Shivaji appeared. Now the vikshep, the distractions, start to be removed from them. Until finally when Hanumanji appeared, everything gone. Gyaan. The prevalence of Gyaan overcome everything otherwise. This might sound hard, I don't know. From where I am, it's not hard. From where you are, I don't know, it might be hard. But this is the essence of this katha. 3 parts of it. So remember, karma, upasana, and Gyaan. Mal, impurities, viksheep, distractions, mental, and Gyaan. So now devotees, sometime after all this, I could hear people say, yeah, all that's stupid. I can't take on all that now. I would just pray with love in my heart. Fix up. Go ahead. Pray with love in your heart. Let me see how far you're going. It's an internal journey. You have to undergo transformation. So devotees, if you notice, everything centers around Shiva, Vairagya. When there's that this passionless base, this is how you can overcome so many things and achieve your success. So it's for everybody. Whoever present here, you have problems, whatever. If you're present here, you don't have problems, you're lucky, but you don't know what happened tomorrow. I'm not putting my mouth on only, but it's the whole of duality. Any one of us, right? If you have these principles firmly embedded in you, you can transcend any problem in life. And you know what? You have to do it for you. I could only feed you it. I can't make you swallow it. I can't make you digest it. This is why I keep saying you are on your own. Okay, devotees? So we are worshipping Shiva, auspicious occasion. And I want to insist, impact upon people that Vairagya is so very necessary. Shutting out the other things. Be very selective. Do what you have to know what you're doing. Shiva is the base. Believe me. Shiva is the base. Once you have that Vairagya, everything falls into place. It doesn't come just like that. Notice the king prayed so many things, it doesn't come just like that. But the Lord wills it. And if we make that effort, He wills it. He gives us the upay. And for every one of us, the upay might be a little bit different. Right? Just you wouldn't know, but how function the right way. Do what you have to do. Stick to the right thing. And the upay works itself out for your benefit. Each person different. Bole Shri Mahapati Mahadev, okay? We conclude here, devotees. So, every year, I think whenever we do Shiv Puram, we read in this Katha, I like it plenty. And if much I read it, there seems more clarity in it. The practical application of this thing. So I'm saying to all of us, let's prepare ourselves now. Tomorrow night, again, we'll do a Katha. Sunday morning, Shiv Sahasranam Path. That is to build that Vairagya in all of us. So that when Monday night comes, you're going to offer water on Shiv Lingam head, not the Shiva head, because they drink poison now. And people say that. They drink poison, smoke out the air or something. So we so powerful, we come firemen, you have to offer water on Shiva head to cool him down. We will talk more about that Sunday night. And I never say do it. Understand why you're doing it now. At a different level. Shiva drank poison. What was he poison? Halahal materialism. This passion consumes materialism, which is deadliest of all poisons. Check it out and see. The deadliest of all poisons, materialism. Let's leave that for another night. We make preparation for the final Havan. Bhagavan Sri Krishna appeared in the devotees. So some of us, we just came out of the Bhagavad. So, let's get back into it now a little bit. We glorify Bhagavan Sri Krishna. Simple bhajan. Jai Krishna Hari, Sri Krishna Hari, Dukhiyon ki dukh dur kare. Jai 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 Krishna Hari. जब चार तरफ अंधियार हो, जब चार तरफ अंधियार हो, आशा का दूर किनारा हो, और कोई न खेवन वाला हो, और कोई न खेवन वाला हो, फिर तू ही तेरा Jai Jai Krishna Hari. चाहे तो सब कुछ कर दे, विष को भी अमृत कर दे। तू चाहे तो सब कुछ कर दे, विष को भी अमृत कर दे। पूर्ण कर दे सबकी आशा, पूर्ण कर दे सबकी आशा, जो भी तेरा ध्यान धरे, जो भी तेरा ध्यान धरे। जय 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 कृष्ण हरे। तेरे दर्शन को मैं तरस रहा, तेरा नाम की माला जपत रहा। तेरे दर्शन को मैं तरस रहा, तेरा नाम की माला जपत रहा। भाव सागर से मोरी नैया, भाव सागर से मोरी नैया, क्षण में जाय किनार हूँ, क्षण में जाय किनार हूँ। जय 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 कृष्ण हरे, जय कृष्ण हरे, श्री कृष्ण हरे। दुखियों के दुख दूर करे, जय 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 कृष्ण हरे, जय 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 कृष्ण हरे, जय जय जय। बोले वृंदावन श्री कृष्ण चंद्र की जय। Little bit each time, Barishal around, when it's 5 more times, I will tell you. Om Ganganapataye Namah Swaha, Shri Gauri Mata Swaha, Prithvi Mata Swaha, Panchlokpal Devaya Swaha, Om Namo Narayanaya Swaha, Om Namah Shivaya Swaha, Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Swaha, Suryari Nograh Devaya Swaha, Brahm Agnaye Namah Swaha, Om Hrim Shim Chandikaye Namah Swaha, Om Krim Kaliyai Namah Swaha, Mahalakshmi Mata Bhyo Namo Namah Swaha, Shri Mrim Saraswatyai Swaha, Om Shri Ishwari Devi Swaha, Om Shri Parameshwari Devi Swaha, Om Shri Shitala Devi Swaha, Shri Mahanyapurna Devi Swaha, Om Shri Mangala Devi Swaha, Om Shri Chandi Devi Swaha, Om Shri Mansa Devi Swaha, Om Hrim Shashti Devi Swaha, Sitara Devi Swaha, Shodasi Devi Swaha, Bhuvaneshwari Devi Swaha, Chinnamasta Devi Swaha, Bhairavi Devi Swaha, Dhumavati Devi Swaha, Bagalamukhi Devi Swaha, Sri Matangi Devi Swaha, Kamla Devi Swaha, Hemavati Devi Swaha, Siddheshwari Devi Swaha, Kalyani Devi Swaha, Katyayani Devi Swaha, Kaumari Devi Swaha, Shri Gayatri Devi Swaha, Om Shri Savitri Devi Swaha, Titra Shri Tulsi Mata Swaha, Swaha Mata Swaha, Sarva Devi Bhyo Namo Namah Swaha, Shri Hanumate Namah Swaha, Sita Ramachandrai Bhyo Namo Namah Swaha, Radha Krishnai Namah Swaha, Shri Ishtadevai Swaha, Kuldevai Swaha, Asthan Devaya Swaha, Gram Devaya Swaha, Itar Karam Pradhan Devaya Swaha, 5 times again. Vastu Devaya Swaha, 33 Karo Devta Bhyo Namo Namah Swaha, Sarva Devta Sarva Devi Bhyo Namo Namah Swaha, Anand Swarupai Brahmane Namah Swaha, Om Shri Guruve Namaha Swaha. We concentrate on Bhagavan Shankar Purnahuti. Pick up the leaf. Right? Concentrate on Shivaji. Om Namah Shambhavaya Cha Mayubhavaya Cha Namah Sankaraya Cha Mayaskaraya Cha Shivaya Cha Shivtaraya Cha Om Namah Shivaya. ओम पूर्णमिदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ओम सर्वं वै पूर्णागवम स्वाहा. Breathe in fire, one side. Do Achman 3 times, water around. Sarva papaharan divyam, gangeyam nirmalam jalam, Achmanam cha maya dattam, grihitam purushottamaha, brahmagneye namaha. Bow to the flame 5 times. Bole Sirumapati Mahadeva ki. So devotees will join together in Shiva Arati. While Arati is being done, Arati will be passed around. Jai Shiva Omkara. Jai Shiva Omkara, Hara Shiva Omkara. Brahma Vishnu Sadashiv Aradhangikara. Jai Shiva Omkara, Hara Shiva Omkara. Ekanana Chaturanana Panchanana Raje. Ekanana Chaturanana Panchanana Raje. Ansanana Garurasam Vrishabhahan Sajay. भुज चार चतुर भुज दश भुज तेसुए तीनों रूप निरखता त्रिभुवन जन मोहे. अक्षमाला वन महला मुंद मल धरी चंदन मृग मद चंद्र भाले शुभकारी. श्वेतांबर पीतांबर बाघंबर अंगे ब्रह्मादिक शनकादिक भूतादिक संगे. कर के मध्य कमंडल चक्र त्रिशूल धरता जग करता जग भरता जग संहार करता. ब्रह्मा विष्णु सदाशिव जानत अविवेक प्रणवाक्षर मध्ये ये तीनों एका. त्रिगुण स्वामी जी की आरती जो कोई नर गावे कहत शिवानंद स्वामी सुख संपत्ति पावे. Visualize Bam Bhola, Bholenath. Mere bam 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 bam, mere bam bhole re, mere bam 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 bam, mere bam bhole re. Bhola bhola, bhola bhola, bhola bhola, bhola bhola. Mere bam 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 bam, mere bam bhole re, mere bam 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 bam, mere bam bhole re. काशी जी के विश्वनाथ नाथों के नाथ, काशी जी के विश्वनाथ नाथों के नाथ, मेरे बम 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 मेरे बम भोले रे, मेरे बम 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 मेरे बम भोले रे। कोई चढ़ावे पान फूल, कोई चढ़ावे माला, कोई मांगन मांग रहा है गोदी लेके बाला, मेरे बम 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 मेरे बम भोले रे, मेरे बम 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 मेरे बम भोले रे। अंधन को आंख देता, कोढ़िन को काया, बाजन को पुत्र देता, निर्धन को माया, मेरे बम 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 मेरे बम भोले रे, मेरे बम 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 मेरे बम भोले रे। चढ़ावे पान फूल, कोई चढ़ावे माला, कोई मांगन मांग रहा है गोदी लेके बाल, मेरे बम 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 मेरे बम भोले रे, मेरे बम 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 मेरे बम भोले रे। काशी जी के विश्वनाथ नाथों के नाथ, काशी जी के विश्वनाथ नाथों के नाथ, मेरे बम 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 मेरे बम भोले रे, मेरे बम 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 मेरे बम भोले रे। भोला भोला हा हा भोला भोला, भोला 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 भोला, भोला 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 भोला, भोला 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 भोला, मेरे बम 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 मेरे बम भोले रे, मेरे बम 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 मेरे बम भोले रे, मेरे बम 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 मेरे बम 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 बम। शिव हरे शिव राम सखी प्रभु, त्रिविधता निवारण हे विभु, अज जनेश्वर यादव पाहि मां, शिव हरे विजयं कुरु मे वरं, शिव हरे विजयं कुरु मे वरं, प्रतिदिनं कुशलं जय मङ्गलं, प्रतिदिनं कुशलं जय मङ्गलम्। मंगलम भगवान विष्णु मंगलम गरुड़ध्वज मंगलम पुंडरीकाक्ष मंगलाय तनुहरि। ओम आवाहनम न जानामि विसर्जनम, पूजां चैव न जानामि क्षम्यतां परमेश्वर। ओम गच्छ गच्छुरश्रेष्ठ स्वस्थाने परमेश्वर, यत्र ब्रह्मादयो देवास्तत्र गच्छुतासनम्। ओम लाभस्तेषां जयस्तेषां कुतस्तेषां पराजया, येषामिन्दि वर्षामो हृदयस्तु जनार्दन। ओम सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामया, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। मंत्रहीनं क्रियाहीनं भक्तिहीनं सदाशिव, यत्पूजितं मया देव परिपूर्णं तदस्तु मे। ओम असतो मा सद्गमय, तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय, मृत्युर्मा अमृतं गमय। गच्छ त्वं भगवन् अग्नि स्वस्थाने कुन्दमध्यतः, हुतम् आदाय देवेभ्यः शीघ्र देहि प्रसीद मे। ओम ब्रह्म अग्नये नमः। ओम त्वमेव माता च पितः त्वमेव, त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव, त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव, त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव। ओम शांति 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 हरि ओम। बोले श्री गजानन स्वामी की जय, उमापति महादेव की जय, आदि शक्ति जगदम्बा माता की जय, पवन पुत्र हनुमान की जय, बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय, बोलिए श्री सत्य सनातन धर्म की, बोलिए श्री स्वाहा माता की। Shubhamastu. Blessings to all. Kindly be seated, devotees.
Om Jai Swaha Mata, Maya Jai Swaha Mata, तुम अग्नि की शक्ति, तुम अग्नि की शक्ति, तुम सच्ची माता। ओम जय स्वाहा